Thank you for joining me. I have Talmar Anderson today with me to talk about all the amazing people in my network. So each month I highlight somebody that I met through networking that I think adds value to my network. So Talmar Anderson is with BossHQ and the Time Machine Agency. So she's going to talk a little bit about both of those things today. We're going to share a success story of a client of hers that went from here to there and wherever we can connect with Talmar and be able to support her and support each other. So we'll talk about all of those things. So thank you for joining me today.
Are you kidding me, Jen? Thank you so much for the opportunity. I love that you find value in what I say and we can share it with your people.
Yes, thank you. What is new and exciting going on in your business right now that you want to share with us, whether that's whichever one you want to start with? What's new and exciting and what are you doing for people? What kind of problems do you see out there that you're solving?
Oh my gosh, new and exciting. New and exciting is Boss Evolution, but we'll get to that later. Really, what we've identified and just gotten really super focused on for our clients is working in that time when they're business owners that growing their team, but they're ready to bring in the manager, that second in command leadership. They probably aren't even thinking about the fact that they're building their leadership team. They're just like, I'm ready to bring in a manager to help me with either managing the day-to-day process, the team, or both. So that's really when we go in. My dream is to get a hold of everybody before they bring in the wrong second in command because it is very debilitating, very expensive, and unfortunately can ruin businesses when we bring in the wrong manager to come underneath us. And it's a really critical part of that boss evolution. See how that worked? When you're moving from business owner to boss and then boss to CEO. So we're excited to be in that space.
Yes, and I like how you mentioned what you call the best second in command. So, what kinds of things, where do you come in when a business is having an issue that they need to replace that person that isn't the right person? What kinds of problems do you see that come up when
Absolutely.
you go to step in when there's already one established in place that isn't going
That
to work
that's
well?
a really that's a really good awareness. We kind of call those our 911 clients because usually we get like an email from a private, a personal email address saying, please don't email me at the office because the boss is unsure. They're like, look, I like this person, or they're trying really hard, or oh crap, I just found out they haven't sent invoices in 4 months, right? Whatever the thing is, they feel like they need to have a space, confidential conversation so that they can assess whether this is a relationship and a hire that can be saved, or if we have to consult with them to help decide how to help this person exit and how to change the way we attract, identify, and integrate that new manager. So those are kind of our 911 calls. And an example, right? We had a client who is a doctor in a very specialized field. And unfortunately, she had a second in command that was so toxic that over 50% of their regular team had already turned over.
Wow.
And then, at a moment's notice, when the boss started actually having conversation with that manager, he took three other team members, left last minute, and became a competitor. And so she had a functioning business, a client list, and an oh shiznit moment of exactly how am I going to keep this business running when I have a whole list of clients I have to, or patients that she had to see. And so we were able to get in there within 6 weeks. We had a second in command that was way better and perfectly aligned for her, her clients, and exactly what the business needed. And we started them through integrating the two of them into that leadership role, building a stronger structure for the business, and making sure the team had everything they needed to be successful.
Wow, that is an impactful story of what could possibly happen
Yeah,
and
we don't want this to happen
not
to you.
have these resources in
Yeah.
place like you. So you come aboard to put out the fire and then you stay with them to rebuild, you said within 6 weeks, bring on the right people so they didn't totally, I had a cousin who had a small salon and basically someone didn't come back from a maternity leave and then someone else was dealing like a workers' compensation case. Two or three things happened her business, she decided to close it within 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh,
Made that decision of all these different things, staffing, dealing with the problems that come up, all those things. And she just decided she was done, so look, it could be a detrimental situation that obviously you're helping people avoid and be able to continue and thrive. So,
Well, yeah, and let's be clear, it's 6 weeks. It could be faster, it could
right,
be
right,
longer, 6 weeks in that particular case. And I would say is an average because that gives us enough
right,
time to get
right.
in, know the CEO, the company, and make sure we're bringing in the right match for them. So that's really
Exactly.
important.
Is there anything else specific you want to share about what it looks like when you do help people with specifically
Yeah.
Boss HQ on that part, other than the time machine as well? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that the majority of our clients are not in that 911 situation. The
Okay.
majority of our clients maybe have doubts. They have a manager that they're just not getting exactly what they need from. It's not that they are sure they need to replace them. What they're sure of is that whatever they're saying, whatever they're doing, it's not really getting through to the manager. And
Okay.
so we consult with those people to help them understand, is this a mismatch hire? Is this a communication issue? Is it that we don't have the right workflow structures? So we can help them understand how to improve this so the business owner gets what they need. The manager can be set up successfully or exited successfully, and we can help them identify. So the majority
Right.
of our situations are not us doing the hiring. We are not a recruiter. We
Yes.
consult with the business owner and we set them up with repeatable, predictable processes for hiring and managing, which is how we get a team to deliver the results that we need to grow.
Excellent. So when a new business is starting as well, like you said, if you can get there before all that happens, you
Mhm.
can identify and get the people in the right place in the first place.
Yeah, especially when they're thinking about, I think I need to hire, or
Yes.
Jen's doing her job and Talmar's doing her job, but we don't really officially have a boss or a CEO or a customer service rep. When we need a
Uh-huh.
little more structure and we're ready to get serious about growth, that's a great time for people to find us.
Excellent. And so tell us a little more about the Time Machine Agency so you can get people the help they need as well.
I appreciate that. So, in the years, which there have been well over 10 at this point, where we've been working with business owners on hiring and management strategies, we really identified a gap in the market. And that was for business owners that aren't really even ready for a part time hire. They don't need even 20 hours a week yet. But because there's so much demand on growing a business, whether it's marketing, administrative, or executive needs, we really identified that there's not enough doers out there. There's a lot of coaches, consultants, and strategists. I'm even one of those, right? And we want to give the product to the client. And then we're like, okay, now go do that. And there's just not enough time. So the Time Machine Agency literally creates time by offering you access to a big team. So you get the big team results without the massive expense, drama, or stress of hiring and managing. We are a managed virtual assistant. So we manage the team. You get to work with one project manager, and it is easy peasy and very flexible.
That sounds extremely useful, as I shared with you that I'm starting to outsource about 4 to 5 hours of work, and I'm over here the one getting everything ready to communicate to what they need. So it would be that part of it that I'm
Yes,
dedicating, probably, an hour or two of my time to, instead of having to do that. You have someone as a point go-to project manager. They handle all
exactly.
that for you and work with the team for you. So you can, as you often say and hear, work on the business and not in the business.
Exactly. And and it's unfortunate, but a lot of our clients have had bad experiences because one, a VA is only one human. It's okay that they don't know every single application. But if
Yes.
you're a growing, changing business and you know your needs change, it's better to have access to a big team, right? So that's why we went managed
Yes.
over placement. And then the other side of it is you don't need to learn everything. Everybody,
Yes.
business owners, please, God, stop learning everything.
Yes.
Find somebody who already knows it and just let us do it. And it's faster, it's easier, and it's way less expensive than all the hours you're going to go through to learn how to post your social media, to learn how to create your SOPs, right? Like we'll
Yes.
format the document so it looks pretty. Like just stop all the doing. Let us be your doers.
One of the most valuable lessons of entrepreneurship is that you don't have to handle everything on your own. You don't have to do everything on your own, and that you should only operate in your zone of genius and only do what it is you want. That is the inevitable goal.
That was the original goal, right? We only
Yes.
wanted to work
Yes.
with people we liked, doing the things that we liked, and we
Yes.
ended up piling all this stuff on
Uh-huh.
ourselves. And so
Yep.
this is the way to get down the path faster, easier, and make sure that you get to do exactly what you want to do.
I say that when you have something, you can do like a teeny bit of research, find the expert who's good at
Absolutely.
it, and then you don't have to do that part, obviously, with you, but implement what you can out of what you learned and then hand it over to the expert. There's, most people that I
100%.
work with, they don't want to do anything themselves anymore. They just say, tell me who to talk to, have someone handle it for me and get it done. And
Right.
that's
And
everything you
especially
do.
if you have the budget, right?
Yep.
The budget for starting with, managed virtual assistant, it's not very much. And it's way less expensive than you trying to deal with the stress of, again, I use formatting because centering dot things is something I will spend 3 hours on or smash my computer trying to get it right.
What an
So I
example.
have to outsource that. I can't do that myself, right? I have
Yeah.
to use my team for that.
And actually, that's another thing too I've talked about lately. Essentially, I'm telling people what to do all the time. And instead of I don't want to do the things that I need to do for
Mm.
myself. So yeah,
Mm.
I'd rather outsource the things for myself, do the work that I need to do for clients, and then
Yes.
spend my other time only doing what I want. So doing the client work, doing the work to build your business, grow your business, and then only do the things you enjoy. So you make that possible with your team and everything that you do. So.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
And anything else you'd like to share? Any upcoming events you have? Any presentations? Anything going on that we need to share otherwise?
Well, we have a new podcast that we'll be launching, but I can't tell you much about that
Excellent.
yet.
That's exciting.
And we always have different offers and resources. So I'm going to just encourage everybody to go to zoomwithtalmar.com. That's Zoom with TALMAR.com. And you'll have an opportunity to set up a time, book a time to talk to me, schedule it for either company, depending on what you need, as well as some resources for you. So check it out.
Excellent. Are there any other, I kind of, you shared a little bit of a story earlier. Are there any other little quick success stories you want to share about a client that to add to what you said earlier at all?
For the time machine, let's see. For the time
Anything.
machine,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Again, it's for the time machine. There's people that have had three virtual assistants placed with them in just like a 3 month period, and they're like, when can I just get the person that can do the job? And that's the best part is all of our project manager, all of our client facing people understand small business, so they're already speaking the language of a business owner, and they don't have to be the one person knowing it. They've got a whole bench behind them that know HubSpot or
Yeah.
high level or Asana, whatever the thing is that you're using that day. And so it's just just stop learning everything. That's the one. Just stop learning everything, people. Let your team be brilliant at what they're brilliant at, which is the administrative, which is the customer service follow up, which is the invoicing that, well, no, we're still outsourcing to bookkeepers, but we can follow up on your invoices for you, right? So we want to
Yes.
help you get time to be brilliant to grow. And you can only do that when you're working on the right things. So let Time Machine be your doers.
What types of businesses do you work with as well?
Well, that's a great question. We're very fortunate in both companies to work with all kinds, everything from performance coach to, performance cyclist, sorry. Sorry, Paul. Shout out to Paul at Performance. Performance cyclist coaches to general contractors and roofing companies to,
Okay.
and this is for both companies, right? This is attorneys, financial advisors, bookkeeping companies. The list goes on, and we're really grateful. Bridal stores, like it's about getting people set up with the right team. It doesn't have
Excellent.
to be hard, and it should be one of the best parts of being a business owner.
For sure. Awesome. Thank you. You mentioned the doctor's office too, so maybe
Oh
some
yes,
medical type
medical.
stuff
Thank you.
like that
I'm
as
like
well.
literally that it's I could
All
not
different
name all
types
the
of
lists.
industries that need you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, this is going to actually be the November episode, so by then the podcast may be up, so that you were
Oh yeah.
speaking of, and so we can include that information as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, this has been awesome. I know that, people are going to get a ton of value if you take one thing out of this as well. I say, what's your one thing? Is to stop figuring things out on your own and learning new
Please
things. That is Talmar's repeated
let people
advice for
help
us.
you. You don't have
Let
to know it
people help
all.
you. Ask for help and allow people to help you. That is a big
Amen.
life lesson, not only personally and professionally. So, thank you for joining me today. And all of her contact information will be in the description below. Leave us a comment and share the video if you'd like. So, stay tuned for my next featured network expert in the following month as well. I share one expert by the end of each month. So, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jen.